opportunity to go over minutes.
Make a motion to approve.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, minutes approved. First and only item is Tuscaloosa Bill Task Force update. We'll have Miss Ashley Kreitz, Miss Drake, and yours truly.
Okay.
So, and I could just start off by saying this is just a task force that was formed to reinvent, rebrand, see how we can make Tuscaloosa Bills the best that it can be. We want to render aid and kind of rebrand the entire thing. And so we formed a task force to try to bounce ideas off one another. And I think we did a great job. I think Ashley can give you, if I must say so myself, the team we have. And this is just to assist Ms. Drake in being the best she could be with more tools and things of that nature so that we could target the small businesses in Tuscaloosa, West Alabama, in order to, innovate a business, corporate business in Tuscaloosa by bringing small businesses contracts through Tuscaloosa Bills. But we got new names coming, and so Ashley, you can take it from here. Drake, you can come up with whatever you want.
We just hang out. We'll tag you.
Yeah, we'll tag you in if you need. Yeah.
So I know, and thank you, Mr. Lanier. The task force was kind of a summer project for us,
Sure.
and we started in the May of 2023, ran it through July 31st, and we were tasked with, as you can see, evaluating our current operations, making a strategic plan for implementation, and providing opportunities so that all of Tuscaloosa would benefit. I know Tuscaloosa Builds was formed in 2014. And we are approaching our 10-year anniversary, which is a really cool milestone for us. Caramel's done, my gosh, just an insane amount of work with this. And we wanted to find ways to help this program not just be a one-woman show anymore. Right. She does such an amazing job guiding folks through these processes. And so this task force, as you can see, the folks who were part of that, in the different departments, you had folks from accounting and finance, city attorney's office, city clerks, community neighborhood services, construction facilities and grounds, human resources, operations, public works, and urban development. So we all sat around these tables and we had some uncomfortable conversations. We had some real, let's hold ourselves accountable conversations with each other, and I thought that was really important to make sure that we were understanding our mission, how it relates to the mayor's core beliefs and our standard of excellence, and where we might have been missing that mark. Right. And so we also then we realized that we had some folks, the engineering and construction group, we needed to talk about things a little bit differently with them than we did with the finance and the legal folks. And then community development and human resources, where Mr. Green, Ms. Kennedy, and Jared Elmore, Mr. Elmore, they were very focused on how people interact with us when there are large bid projects. But then we also recognized that there was this very real need to help all small businesses, all disadvantaged businesses. And I think that's where we have created this new vision. For what Tuscaloosa Builds can be as we move forward and celebrate it in March of 2024. Modernizing, rebuilding, rebranding that program, turning it into a small business development and support center. The task force members, all those staff members, we continue to meet monthly to update each other, and then we will continue to bring this committee monthly updates as well. Right now, we have been working on some language changes, and we have been working to create this diverse business coalition that would meet quarterly with a community calendar. You've got a lot of those entities that do a phenomenal job with programming. Let's tag team with each other. Let us be good at the things that we are all individually good at instead of everyone trying to do everything. We want to make sure those regional goals are being met as well. So right now, we are going back to the bases. We are kind of demolishing to rebuild. So those policies and procedures, We're revamping that website. We've got some really great examples from other communities. Why reinvent the wheel? Let's just take that wheel and make it better.
Right.
So revamping that website, making our standards for being a Tuscaloosa Builds member a little bit higher, including that business license requirement, and then making better brochures and other things so that as we're out in the community, as Ms. Drake goes out and about, we've got other things, other collateral to hand folks, where we've got newsletters and, hey friend, you look like a great Tuscaloosa Builds member. You've got this really small business. We've got all these great resources. Here's what Tuscaloosa Builds can do for you. Here's the membership opportunities that it provides to you. So we in October right now, we've been doing those policies and procedures, clear definitions, working our way into the business license renewal season, which will really help kick us off, reestablishing the database of members, catching them during business license renewal season, and then when they apply for new business licenses as well. And then moving into March, unveiling that new website, the searchable database, and working with Stratcoms to help celebrate our 10-year program anniversary. So again, you've got some really great inspiration out of Mobile. Just stuff really large font that says, what can we help you with today? Do you need help starting a business? Well, click here. Do you need help looking for how to get your business certified? Let's click here. Being a vendor and working with the city, because those are so many of the questions that Ms. Drake spends so much time answering. So if we can get folks directed to a website with all the information, hopefully that can help free her up to do a lot of cool things. New Orleans also had a really great website, their Equitable Business Opportunities program. And then Chicago did some amazing stuff with their business license program as well. And we just want to show you some quick snapshots of that. Brochures, Knoxville knocked it out of the park. But outside of that, I'm not adjourning you. But we've got Ms. Drake, Mr. Howler both here as well. If y'all have any questions, we're excited about the future of Tuscaloosa Builds, and where we can continue to go and grow as a city.
When do you think you will have recommendations that might have budgetary impacts? And you may not have any, but
I think by the time we get to budget season for fiscal 25, we'll be looking, because we're approaching fiscal 24, there may be some budgetary impacts for fiscal 25, potentially.
Next question.
Sure.
It said eligible members.
Mhm.
What is an eligible member?
That's part of what we're having to establish right now. So go ahead, Mr. Lanier.
I mean, to me, I know Ms. Drake always concentrate on people getting their license, insurance, in order to operate. I mean, you could have your license, but if you don't have the insurance, you can't be eligible enough to. I mean, sure, you can be on Tuscaloosa Builds in order to be contracted. So what the website would do is we would have a portal that would let you click on this, upload your business license, upload your insurance, liability insurance, and those are the things you need to be going forward.
A lot of people don't know about that, but
sure.
If you wanted to start a business and you just wondered, am I eligible for help? What would there be any basic criteria?
Well,
You talking about African American women, Latinos?
Okay, that was my question.
Yes, I was got to that.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. That's what I thought, but I just want to make sure.
Yep.
Because I've learned that because I think something, that doesn't mean it's true.
Is the newest terminology is DBE, right? Disadvantaged Business Enterprise.
So that's
the correct
yes.
terminology.
Mm-hmm. Minority women and disadvantaged owned businesses, who we cater to.
Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
You all have did a great presentation. One question: how can we help those people who are afraid of turning what they do into a business? Because we have a lot of people that do good work, but they are afraid of turning what they do, that gift, that talent, into a legitimate business. Because if they and being a legitimate business will open them up to so many more opportunities. I don't know if y'all discussed that or not, but I think that particularly may be a barrier, because I know a lot of people who may not have the paperwork, but they got the skill and they got the gift.
I think one of the tasks that Ms. Drake and Ms. Price and Mr. Howell and the entire task force have had is to who is doing what in our community. And then where is our defined niche that we can be outstanding at?
Gotcha.
And that's been one of the things. Caramel has been a mile wide and an inch deep over 10 years. She's had to do a million different things, and it's extraordinary what has been accomplished. One of the things I want us to do is, I saw the slide earlier, is to make certain we're leveraging all and not duplicating what other people are already doing.
That's good.
And I love the idea too, and I was going to say this, when we start our book study on Recoding America, you will see this, but we're doing a small book study right now among some of us, and we're about to expand the group,
Okay.
is that the vast majority of people take all their information off their phone. And so I want to make certain that anything we do is so compatible with this more than an iPad or a laptop. Because most people who are going to want to do these things with hopefully the city, the university, the other partnerships you've created, they're going to do most of that on their phone while they're out on a job site. And so I'm excited about where y'all are going, Mr. Lanier. And thank you for sharing this. I think you are a successful business owner. You have a perspective that was so needed as part of this process.
Sure, I was just I was a team player, man. They make me look good. But I will say what you're saying, Mayor. I think the new website we were talking about at lunch, I think everything we will be able to, send a link, maybe an app possibly, but the website you'll be able to up our ideas for you to be able to upload everything, all your requirements, to meet the obligations in order to be contracted. Like, you know what you need, upload it on the website. Make sure that we have everything you need, the EIN, your business license, your insurance, and then going from there. That's the big, Matthew, and to answer Matthew's question, I believe in order to get people who are afraid, you can't be afraid in business. Like, you need to make the necessary sacrifices. So what we can't do is probably baby anybody. You need a business license. You need insurance. This is a hard thing that you got to say to some people. But you got to have your insurance. You got to have your business license. You need to have your paperwork in order. So I mean, there is no help when you're afraid. You just got to launch. You got to just take the first step. And,
You're afraid you might
the
need
first
to work
step is
for
going to be
somebody.
doing everything in line in order to be on this list of vendors that can get work.
Is everything the same as when we started? Like, I know it, like the tennis center, there was a little rocky start, I think, when somebody bringing something as big as this was, and now Caramel endured it all and got it going in the right path for sure. And I apologize for all the people I sent to you, but I know you'll know what to say to them. But if, let's say, TTL is getting ready to do hopefully the Alberta project, the streetscape. So the requirement is still, you've got to make at least
10 to 20% currently. That's the goal that we have.
and you have to have proof that you have contacted.
Diverse businesses to solicit to come to participate in the project. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay, so that's all still the same.
Yes, sir.
I've got a business in my deal. I wish I'd known more about this because they really struggled to start out with, and I think you could have been a big help to them.
But I'm sure there'll be another opportunity. I'll be happy
Oh,
to
yeah,
work
I
with
hope
you.
so. I hope so.
And one of the, again, I did a poor job describing earlier, but we're gonna have to figure out, is our goal to get people ready to do business with the city or get people ready to do business overall?
Right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Because this has always been, the focus began and probably still is to some extent, this is how you get work with the city. If you're a pressure washer,
Yeah.
you have to have this, and this, and then we recommend when bids come up, you do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So, do we want to get into small business development overall, or do we want to stay hyper-focused on, you're a DBE, And this is how you go and have an opportunity at doing work for the city of Tuscaloosa. And thanks to the partnership Ms. Drake has created, that now expands to Para, Tuscaloosa County, UA.
City school system,
Mhm.
the housing
And
authority.
it's gonna benefit them both ways.
Yeah.
They line up their paperwork with
But
the
does that
city.
make sense?
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
And so, because if it's going to be more of a grander small business development, I assume we will need a lot more resources.
Yes, it can't just be, Miss Drake and then the rest of the task force members who are now a working group just trying to join elbows and go for it. But
But remember, you funded, there's a couple of, you fund the chamber, and part of that funding contract is small business development, minority business development. The city in 2019, we opened up the Edge. The city funded the construction. And as part of that, of course, the university and the chamber operators, part of that was minority business development. So we have other partners out there that we want to better align ourselves and make certain they're doing their work that
Right.
everyone agreed to at a certain point.
Right.
And if I'm,
Cause it's
Ms. Drake or Ms.
resources.
Christ, if I'm
That's correct.
wrong,
No, you're-
please
you're-
That's
correct me.
the
Spot on.
coalition that we were discussing, saying that we will work together, Small Business Development Center, the Edge, the city and the chamber.
not only holding ourselves accountable in this larger endeavor, but making sure that we are holding our partners accountable.
Sure.
Because if we, as the city of Tuscaloosa, are doing everything that we can,
Right.
but others aren't, we may find ourselves treading water, and I don't like to tread water.
You know, it's, I may have shared this with you before. What I have found over the last, really the evolution of this in the last 10 years, is that there was some concern, especially among some general contractors when this program began. But now everyone sees it as this is an opportunity to develop more workforce.
Sure.
There's,
Oh, yeah.
every contractor, general contractor is struggling to find
I
subcontractors.
know that.
Yep.
So
And
this is
so-
a pool of subcontractors.
The
I think
more,
part of the problem was that out-of-town influence we had at the very beginning. Now,
Yeah.
since, that's what I meant, Caramel, you know what I was talking about?
Oh, yes.
That, and since it's becoming what I call in her hands, it took off. Do y'all still meet, you used to meet, have regular meetings and council chambers?
So,
How y'all
it
do
was,
that now?
issues getting into City Hall, people getting lost, and so we began to meet for the last 5 years. We've met at Stillman College, and from there, but currently we won't be meeting until our 10-year anniversary.
That makes sense. You plan on keeping the name the same?
Because we are going to, well, it's not my call, but I would prefer West Alabama Connect or West Alabama Builds, because it's a part of a coalition of different entities working together to support diverse businesses across West Alabama,
Gotcha.
to mirror what the chamber does.
maybe some of our partners will join us.
As they should,
I'm sure they will.
absolutely.
Sure they will.
And I think
Sooner than later.
putting the meetings off until we rebrand, I think that's a great idea, because, we don't want to start a project under Tuscaloosa Bill, and then we got a whole relaunch coming out. So I think, and to answer, Carmen, you got a voice in it. So yeah, it's not just our call either. You got a voice in it.
But
So
I'm excited.
keep that name in the hat. You never know.
I'm excited
Yeah,
that y'all,
I am too.
y'all did this. It's great.
So I'm excited. It's about to be.
Can't
huge.
believe it's been 10 years.
And shout out to the team. The team was excellent.
Almost.
Everybody working super hard. Great ideas. So I believe we're gonna do great things with Tuscaloosa Bills / whatever. Wait for it.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else?
I make-
Anything else from
I make a
anybody?
motion to adjourn.
Sure. All right. Can I get a second from anybody? Second from anybody.
Not on the committee.
Matthew.
Said anybody.
You're right.
Matthew. Oh yeah. I said. Oh yeah. All right. All in favor?